Hey, sorry I've been away. Your boy has been working, but I'm back with a little bit of a banger right here. Ran across a story that I wanted to share with you guys that just a sign of the times. Interestingly enough, it's coming to us from the state of Georgia, and I've shared quite a bit in relation to Georgia's prison system, which is absolutely out of freaking control these days with all the videos you see coming out of that prison system. You know it's coming from there when you see the white uniform with the blue stripe. But there's an interesting story involving 4 prisoners and a Caucasian woman. We've got Emmett Wells, Marquise Connor, Jonathan Ford, Chasen Steen, and Julissa Cassinas, all of which have been rearrested. I believe all the guys in relation to this, I'm not sure if the woman was or not. I believe all the guys in relation to this were already serving time, but everybody was arrested for using contraband cell phones to run a scam from behind bars where they were posing as police officers and threatening sex offenders with arrest unless they paid money. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't see anything wrong with this. Even if they are impersonating police officers while serving time, this shit is ballsy. But I like it though. I'm always looking for a new business model. Maybe this is it right here. You know, it's crazy. I know without even knowing that I've got these sex offenders that live around the corner from me, these old people that I don't like. And I know this, it's a little bit of a long story. I'll try to get through it as quickly as possible. So I met these guys and they had this reentry program that I did not respect whatsoever. I actually met the girl Kelly through that and a couple of other people as well. And when I met them, I would always ask, like, why are you associated with these dudes? Because these dudes is definitely sex offenders. But before I put the pieces together to realize that these 2 old white dudes who had started this reentry program that has since been completely disbanded because of all of that and more, I'll have to do a video on that at a later date. I would learn that these guys couldn't rent an apartment, so they had to buy some sort of a condo, which I guess is pretty close to where I live at because I see these dudes sometimes, often, and I don't like that shit. So I think to myself about, you know, somebody calling them and trying to extort money from them. I like it. But not only did these inmates run this scam from inside the prison, I don't know what the woman's role in all of this was, probably being some sort of an outside liaison. Not only all of that, they also filmed a rap music video from inside the prison, and that was how they got caught with these contraband cell phones, which I'm guessing probably when gone through, probably had lots of nude women in there. They probably had all sorts of shots, but maybe they were able to uncover the paper trail of the scam that was taking place. I wonder how lucrative of an operation this actually was. Were they making hand over fist types of money? One can only hope, especially in relation to what they were doing. You hear of scams where they target the elderly. They act like there's some sort of a police organization. Hey, support your local police department. Donate us your entire last will and testament. And in those cases, you know, those people are absolutely going to hell. They have already booked their tickets to people orchestrating those scams. In this case, I don't really see this as being all that wrong, even with the impersonation of a police officer. But unfortunately, for all parties involved right here, they've all been recharged with new charges, not recharged, but charged with new charges. And it all stems from a rap music video that led to the apprehension of a contraband cell phone. Maybe the woman involved here was a correctional officer. It says several Georgia prison inmates, including a rapper, were sentenced after being caught using contraband cell phones to run a scam from behind bars. They posed as police officers and threatened sex offenders with arrest unless they paid money, stealing thousands of dollars until Ohio investigators uncovered the scheme. But this took place in Georgia. The inmates were also seen with contraband phones in rap videos filmed inside the prison. So that's really crazy. With as much contraband cell phone video footage that you see coming out of the prisons, especially down in Georgia, that these guys were actually caught and charged with probably a handful of charges, including that contraband cell phone. I don't even know if that really carries a charge anymore. It obviously can't. Again, given how much cell phone footage you see coming out of the prisons, but maybe all of a sudden they're starting to crack down. I ran across this information on a Facebook group called My Mixtapes. And usually when I run across news stories that are being posted by Facebook pages, they're usually old stories. I want to look this up and find out exactly when this story took place. And I guess the best way that we'll do so is we'll start with the woman. Let's look her up first. And also find out how much time they got. Additional. Jalissa. Oh, wow, this actually just took place. Georgia inmate sentenced for fraud scheme run inside state prison using illegal phones. Georgia inmates ran a phone scam from inside prison, posing as police to extort sex offenders. Ohio prosecutors say fraud stretched across several states. Yeah, I was wondering why they kept mentioning Ohio when these people were locked up in Georgia. A group of Georgia prison inmates, including an imprisoned rapper, have been sentenced in Ohio for running a phone scam from behind bars that targeted registered sex offenders across the country. Damn, I wonder how they were coming across these guys. Probably using what's it called? I was going to say Angie's List. I think it's called Megan's Law. There's these websites where you can actually find where these sex offenders are. So maybe they were using something like that to do so. It's crazy to think these guys are locked up in Georgia, and when they get done with their time in Georgia, boy, Ohio coming to get you. Damn, that sucks. Hope it was worth it. Hopefully they made enough money to live comfortably for the rest of the time that they're going to be locked up. I doubt it, though. They used contraband cell phones inside Georgia prisons to pose as law enforcement officers, threatening victims with arrest if they didn't pay up. The scam netted thousands of dollars before investigators in Ohio unraveled the scheme. God, I wonder how they did so. I was thinking they got caught because of the rap videos being shot inside of the prison where they're flexing with the phone. Sort of sounding like one of them sex offenders went to the authorities. Marquise Connor, 43, of Decatur, became the last defendant sentenced in the case. Connor received 4 years in prison and was ordered to pay almost $10,000 in restitution after pleading guilty to engaging in a pattern of corrupt activity. Man, that charge just sounds like something sinister. Hey, what you in here for? Shit. Engaging in a pattern of corrupt activity? What about you? Judge Kelly Cottrill handed down the sentence following what prosecutors described as an unapologetic statement from Connor, blaming victims for being scammed. What you mad at me for? They the ones that gave me the money. I just told them I'd come out there and kill them if they didn't. Others convicted included Emmett Wells, 29, of Glenville, who was sentenced to 3 years. Jonathan Ford, 36, received 3 years as well. And Jalissa Casanas, 33, of Spring Hill, Florida, who processed payments. I knew she was the liaison out there. She must have been somebody's boo thing or pen pal. She processed the payments and was placed on community control for money laundering. Damn. A fourth inmate, Chasen Steen, 42, of Stone Mountain, died before sentencing. That's crazy. I wonder if he died or if he was killed. Because again, Georgia prisons are nothing to play with. The Georgia Department of Corrections is probably some of the worst in our country. The case began after 2 Ohio men reported being targeted. Oh, bitch ass, snitch ass. Type-ish. Zanesville Detective Sergeant Phil Michael traced phone, financial, and retail records to the Georgia prison system. That's crazy. When they unraveled that can of worms, I'm sure they had to be shocked to realize all of this was taking place from inside of a prison. Investigators also discovered rap videos allegedly filmed inside the prison appearing to show inmates with drugs and contraband phones. They say the scam was a part of a larger pattern of fraud that has been operating for years inside Georgia prisons. It is extremely common for those who target Muskingum County residents for crimes to be shocked that they are caught and brought to justice. They say justice applies equally to everyone, even the most heinous of people. Georgia Department of Corrections has long struggled with contraband cell phones, fueling scams and organized crimes inside its facilities. I'll be damned. Absolutely insane story right there. Just wanted to bring that to you guys if you hadn't heard about it. It was certainly one that was interesting to me. And again, I don't feel bad in the slightest. As a matter of fact, it's kind of got my wheels turning of what kind of a business strategy I could put together to do something similar. I'm kidding. Joe don't be committing no crime no more. But if I was, though, I certainly wouldn't be talking about this. Hey, look, I just wanted to share that with you guys. I know it's been a little while since I've had a video, but trust and believe, After Prison Show has been heavy on my heart. And, I'm still here. So if you enjoyed this, please leave a like and a comment letting me know exactly what you thought about this. And as always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted and make the most of every day. Peace!